great content creators and also for a very long time. I mean, everyone knows Zi8gzag that is familiar with GeoGuessr, but maybe not everyone is familiar with Harrier, who's also been putting out content for a long time now. So I'm very excited to see these two content creators face off, especially the jump Harrier has done in the past few months in skill is insane. So I think we're in for a treat, especially I feel like Harrier has the upper hand in the moving game, and after that, anything can really happen.
Definitely. Get a quick little glimpse there from the production, pressing all the buttons at the same time, seeing that, of course, the World Cup finals are coming your way in Copenhagen at the end of August. But for now, it's this match that's on our hands. Zi8gzag has started just giga farming NPC games on stream, and is also rapidly increasing his average guessing time from week to week, now down to 30. But as you can see, they're both set there, just exactly inside the top 12, and they want to stay there. So many points available between these two. They got to log in and get these games going. So let's get straight into it, into game number 1. And as per usual, Zi8gzag is there right away.
I was about to say, what is that sound? But it's just an instant guess by Zi8gzag in France. He is known for being pretty good at vibe guessing something like France, so maybe he knows it.
Let's see if he is. A little bit further down towards Toulouse, but both of them within reach nonetheless. And I think this is gonna be the challenge for Harrier today. As we can see in the statistics, average time 7 seconds longer on his guesses, but yes, we say Zi8gzag averages 30 seconds. I feel like if we were to only take the last couple of weeks into consideration, it's more like 22, 23. Because as soon as he gets a good vibe, as you were saying, he's instantly there. So Harrier won't have a whole lot of time to maneuver around as Zi8gzag is going to try and put the pressure on.
Yeah, especially because he knows Harrier has put a lot of time into learning, especially European countries where you can learn phone codes and stuff, or like how the road numbering system works. So I feel like he has a better chance at winning if he just sends on locations like that.
Yeah. As you can see here, feeling the pressure already. It's difficult when you're trying to play a moving game, but your car can barely even get started before Zi8gzag already gets his guess in. We'll see here. As we get into round number 3, those damage multipliers keep on stacking up. Now, predictions would have Harrier better in this area, but...
we are in Germany, and he has learned the Landkreise, but he gets to another sign. I couldn't read whatever it said there. Maybe it said Berlin, because he instantly zoomed into Berlin.
Yep, a lot of info available.
And it does say Berlin.
Wow, Harrier on point with that one. But again, I mean, this feeds into Zi8gzag's strategy. Taking these couple of 100-point losses every now and again isn't really that big a deal. He can probably, he could effectively tank it all the way down to 1,000 health before it starts getting scary. He's looking for, I mean, this is the playstyle that he's utilizing, that we've seen V89, MK trying to utilize as well with the very fast guesses, especially in moving rounds, is that they're waiting for that big error. The time where he gets a good vibe guess in and Harrier simply just doesn't have the time to get a good pinpoint down.
Ooh, and that's going to be big for Harrier because we do have Ankara province signs. These are specific to the province of Ankara. And now he can find the town, and he did find Nalihan, which was on the bin. So this is going to be huge damage.
Definitely could be. 2.5 times multiplier. Let's see how much it's going to turn into. Is it going to be a 5k? Ooh, not quite, close, but plenty of damage nonetheless. 2,000 at that. A little more than what I think Zi8gzag would be hoping for this early on in the game.
Yeah, and this really showcases how much Harrier has learned. I mean, he knows that town, so it's not going to be easy for Zi8gzag. He is probably sticking to a strategy here, just sending over and over. Doesn't want to bother with moving against Harrier.
Exactly. He's a great player. I feel Harrier is one of the players that everyone's been saying, like, he's the guy who's been grinding. I mean, they both are, to be honest. But Harrier, between all pros, have been talked about as one of the guys up there. Both of them. Zi8gzag takes his head back a little more casually. Harrier with the big facepalm there on the complete opposite end of Greece. Not something you usually see, but of course, with Zi8gzag putting pressure on, they do not have a whole lot of time to work with.
Yeah. I mean, both of them are playing an insane amount of games, but I feel like Harrier has a bit of more of a systematic approach. Meanwhile, Zi8gzag just spams games over and over. Both have their pros and cons, but we shall see who comes up on top. We are in Russia, though, and we do have spring coverage. That usually means Dagestan.
Yeah.
So, like Zi8gzag already has a good vibe for this location. I quite like his guess.
the way down towards the Georgian border. Ends up kind of micro-adjusting his way a little bit further towards the north. But let's now see. Harrier, 7 seconds left to work with. In and around the same area, east coast as well. East coast towards the lake. Well set up. They're both going to be close. Harrier looking into the air going, whew, closer. Appreciated.
Yeah, Zi8gzag's first guess was very, very close, and then he ended up a bit more north because we did not see the mountains that you see usually in the south. You would see the Caucasus Mountains. So he decided to go a bit further north, but did not pay off here.
Let's see now. 4 times damage multiplier as Zi8gzag takes it to Cambodia. Early on, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, again, this is a very line-uppable location, I would say, because we do have a major highway, and there's not that many major highways in Cambodia that you just have. I mean, there's not that many. So maybe possible to line it up.
Towards the north, neither of them found the signs they were looking for. I mean, I don't think Zi8gzag had a whole lot of time to even look for any. But Harrier went down the street for a bit, didn't get all the info that he wanted. So both of them off by a smidge as well. But look at this, Harrier barely scraping down below 5,000 health as we make it into round number 8.
And Zi8gzag will not be happy to see this because we are in the UK here. And Harrier instantly zooming to Northern Ireland, which could be a problem because Northern Ireland so far away from the rest of the UK, really. And meanwhile,
he's given the time, though, which, I mean, okay, so now the guess does come through, but more time than what he usually would have had to work with. Now we get
that
signs.
Is very good information, and it is not an island. Omagh is a town. Yes, he found it. That's going to be the game, I think, here.
Very
Huge
well
damage.
Could be. Yeah, he's shaking his head. Zi8gzag knows that something doesn't feel right with this guess. It is going to be north. It is going to be Harrier on point. The GG through already as 3,474 damage comes the way of Zi8gzag. And game 1 goes to Harrier. Now, keep in mind, of course, for the Zi8gzag fans over there going, no! Zi8gzag does drastically appreciate no moving and NPC over moving, as far as I'm aware. So look to see him try and strike back here.
Yeah, the problem here is always that like the entire player base has the same amount of skill pretty much in the no-move mode, so it's definitely going to be hard to get a very high win rate on this mode.
Casual average of 4,900.
4,900. I mean, I wonder if that's like one guess or more than one guess.
I think in order to the statistic, in order for you to bring up that statistic, you have to have had at least 2 guesses in the country.
Oh, okay.
So it can't just be, hey, I 5K'd once. Haha, what a sick average, bro. It has to be a little more than that. But let's not. It could be nice if we get under the statistic how many guesses they've had in the country as well. But maybe that's for the graphics department to look into. Zi8gzag, as we know, we'll get the first guess in. These 2 guys, almost identical distance to the target. A mere 8 damage.
8 points to start off this game.
Flick off the wrist. You know, not too much happening there. Round number 2 takes us once again out into the open. A few more houses to go between this time around.
Yeah, we do have a hook pole here, which usually you find in Latvia, but this looks like more like Croatia or Slovenia. And I think we did have a blue car, and that does not really happen in Slovenia that often, so I quite like the Croatia guess here.
Let's see where Harrier ends up going. Is joining in Croatia, swinging around Zagreb further down towards the south, and no, should have opted to stay north. Never opted to look up there in that direction to begin with. Damage goes the other way. Round number 3 coming our way now. As again, Zi8gzag trying to strike back. Currently flawless. 2 rounds into this match. As we go into what looks like, I don't know.
Looks like a cool location. Finally,
Garbage
something
dump?
where they have to think a bit more. We do
More
have a
blue
blue car
cars?
here.
What are you thinking, Zig?
Well, it's between Chile, Argentina, or Mexico here. But I feel like we are in Chile. Just by how dry it is. So I'm not very sure.
Yep, Zi8gzag quick on the vibe guess north side of Santiago. Harrier almost in the exact same area, just a bit further towards the north. We'll see who's going to get it. Zi8gzag, wow, completely on point with this one. That's going to be big damage coming through. Almost 1,800, sending Harrier down below 4k health.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised by Harrier's guess because we did have some vegetation, and usually in Copiapio it's just like soil and nothing else. usually don't have anything else. As we go into Switzerland will not be very interesting. But Harrier opts out to go very, very far west. Maybe he knows how the French architecture looks like in the west.
Could be.
You have some slight hills, which you do get in the west. And meanwhile, Zigzag also eyeing out the western part.
This does come through. Very far side of Switzerland, down towards Geneva. Border. Very beautiful area, by the way. But Zi8gzag looking to go further towards the north. This comes through in between the two once more, but this time around Harrier is going to be the closer of the two. Not too much damage. Again, of course, when you're in Switzerland and it's early on in round 4, it's really limited how how much damage you can take in the end. But no flawless for the Zi8gzag at least.
No flawless, and finally some damage on the board. As we go into, I think, the western Alberta round, we do have, I don't know, just this typical plains landscapes, but this time with hills, which you usually only get in Alberta. As we see in Lock and Drumheller, which I quite like, there are a few hills there. Could be a bit further west even. We shall see. But both in Alberta is kind of what I expected to see.
In Alberta and in and around the same area as well, but once again, Harrier looking to the sky going, oh, come on, man. I only get so many chances at getting Zi8gzag this far off target. I should be closer. Both of them, you can see, confused Zi8gzag with the emotes there. Trying to communicate among one another while getting this game going as we go tropical
this is
once again.
Anti-new coverage. This is like the southern part of the west coast.
Okay.
More south than Harrier is currently. But
should we have a new coverage alert that pops up on screen?
yeah, I really like Zi8gzag's guess right now. He might be on the right stretch there. I quite like it. Harrier a bit too far north to be this coverage, so...
And he's moving even further up that way. Now looking to go back again. A big jump towards the south. Is he going to continue moving? Or is he staying in place? Seems like he is going to commit to this location. And he's going to be off by a bit once more. Zi8gzag, though, contrary, 16 kilometers off. More big damage coming through towards Harrier.
Yeah, very nice guess there by Zi8gzag. Maybe has learned something when I coached him in New Zealand. Definitely a country that is worth learning because not that many have learned it yet. And it's not that easy. You have to put some time into it. But as you just saw, it pays off.
And it's big enough for a country that some pretty drastic damage can come through. Quick Albania, I guess, comes through from Zi8gzag. Doesn't want to make too much more of this round. Down towards the water he goes. As Harrier still looking for trees, looking for clues. Could potentially tell him the exact whereabouts. He's going into Greece.
He's going to Greece. He didn't even consider Albania because he didn't see any rifts.
Oh, this is going to be a big one. We'll see. It's going to be enough. Just exactly enough for Zi8gzag to make the swing happen. And this is kind of, this feels good to me, because one of the first things Zi8gzag ever taught me was Albania has sky rifts. So there you go.
Well, the problem was we didn't have any rifts in that
There
location.
weren't any rifts there, exactly.
Yeah.
Just seeing Zi8gzag win in Albania, it feels good as we now go into the dreaded NMPC. This is all they get. No zooming, no panning, and no moving around. It's just this image.
And what an image it is. Looks very dead. And honestly, I don't have a good vibe here as to what it is.
What is your vibe, though? Give me a country.
I don't know, my instant vibe was
You can be wrong. You're allowed to be wrong.
Okay, my instant vibe was it's like an A because the road is going straight west.
Okay, but that's not a country.
Yeah, that is true. I would maybe go US then, although this looks very European overall. I feel like...
Okay.
I would maybe guess Bulgaria here.
But you know what? The fact that you're jumping between America and Bulgaria has me excited, because as you can see, Zi8gzag is looking towards the northern states of America. Where's Harrier going? Yet to even open the map. This one.
Spain.
There's so much distance in between the two here. I mean, you lined it up perfectly, Ziggy. One is in Europe, one is in North America, and it's gonna be in North America, the northern part of North Dakota, all the way up on the border. And that is what NMPC can do to you.
Yeah, I feel like the best clue there was that the road was just a very straight line road going straight west. That happens a lot in the Midwestern states. Meanwhile, we get a Oregon Lions round here, not really something to talk about. Both players will get it, and we see both of them zooming instantly in.
What, when you say Oregon line, now that we have the second to say it, what?
Yeah.
Just explain it real quickly.
They're just a bit wider apart, and there are some white lines in southern states like Alabama, but obviously that looked Pacific Northwest, and then it's just easy.
Yeah. When the
Obviously.
yellow lines are further between, and you're on the west coast, just go Oregon. Feels good, man. As we now go into yet another. I mean, we don't like cities, we don't like houses.
I think it's
At
another
least not
US,
in
and this time we are in the southern states, so I really like Mississippi, Alabama here.
Insta-lock for Zigzag. I mean, he has the health to work with. Still
3 US in a
untouched
row,
into round
that's
3.
It's insane. Whoa!
Oh, big round again!
No.
Harris!
I think this is US,
What?
right?
What?
Yes! Whoa.
Harrier, what did you see, my man?
He was like, surely it can't be US 3 times in a row. Come on, guys. Surely that can't be.
Is that the thing? Is that what we're playing at now? It's the roulette. Like, guys, it's gone on red 6 times. It has to be black this time.